All right, guys, happy Saturday to everybody on the call. As you guys know, this is Saturday training. We do this every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We only do it for an hour. So make sure you get your pens, your notepads, whatever you take your notes on, and get the information. We have some amazing speakers today that are going to go over some important points on how you can have success in the home and on the phone, which is really all this business is about. But again, plugging in every week, guys, is super important. So please put it on the notifications or on your calendar. We are growing so much; it's hard to really individually text everybody. So, guys, please make sure you're paying attention to our group chat so you can get all the information you need about any upcoming meetings as well as our Saturday training. So, again, guys, please pay attention. This is a cameras on meeting. If your camera is not on, guys, we're creating a culture here. We want to see everybody's faces. We will have to kick you off. All right. So, and guess what, guys? Invite everybody that you know, because if you're looking to build a business, one of the fastest ways, one of the best ways to grow a business is to rally a bunch of people to a meeting and the next meeting so that you can have eyes and ears on what you're seeing, because you never know who in your business or even yourself, whether someone else on your team, they're going to hear something, or whether you hear something that's going to take your business to the next level. But I can guarantee you, the more people you have watching this, the more people you're going to have writing business, helping families, and growing their agency under you. So keep that in mind. All right, guys, as you know, we always start with the top 10. All right. And these are people, guys, who are having success week to week. So you want to make sure you're paying attention. And if you're not on this list, guys, get on this list. All right. You too can have success. All right. So I'm looking at, actually, I don't even think they posted it. Did they post the,
Hold on, just keep going. I'll look and see. Nah.
Well, here's what I can do. I can actually go over the top people for the entire month of February.
I can talk about. Well, I can go. I got the numbers for Fury, the top 10
yeah, that's
Fury
fine. Go
numbers. But go
Okay.
ahead. I'll come back. I'll pull it up. Go back to it. We'll come
All
back.
right, not a problem. All right, so guys, I do want to go over the end of February and how many families were helped. And I always go over the top 10. So we'll start number 10 coming in, Eugene Marshall, 12 families. Number 9, Bradley M, 14 families. Number 8, Austin S, 15 families. Number 7, Rakita, 15 families. Myself, number 6, number 6, 16 families. Josh Khan, number 5, 16 families. Thaddeus S, you guys are going to hear from him today, 19 families. Richard M, 20 families. Ryan Urbanski, 20 families. And there can be only one number one. Guys, this is the power of building an agency. So Thadd has a guy on his team that helped 51 families. That is insane. So that is your top 10 at the end of February. And Kali, were able to pull that up?
Yeah, you just did it, didn't you? I'm confused.
That was for Allegiance. You said you had.
Okay, right, guys. So for the end of February, and here, this is the good rule of thumb, because we can't post our actual issue paid numbers, but you can take the number of families and multiply it by 1,000, and you can figure out what their premium was, guys. So number 10 is Wesley Troublefield, 11 families for the month of February. Number 9, Collie Somerville, 12 families for the month of February. Number 7, Amaka Anderson, 13 families for the month of February. Oh, I got this all wrong. Number 6, David Germain, 14 families. Eugene Marshall, number 5, 15 families. Andre Brooks, 16 families for the month. Rakita Gorman, 16 families for the month. Josh Khan, 19 families for the month. And there's only one number one with 32 applications for the month, a total of 20 families. Karyn Giles, yes, girl. Number 1 in Fury, great job. Go ahead, Karyn, take it away.
All from home, by the way.
All from home, all from
I haven't seen the outside in a few months. But guess what, guys? Look, I'm not doing anything. There's people doing more than me. So that's not like we want to get to the next level. We got to grow. And I'm just excited to be on that journey. I mean, great job to everybody that was highlighted. I do want to go over some announcements before I have our amazing speakers come on. Guys, so please write this down. This is super, super, super important. We get so many questions throughout the week. These questions can easily be answered by everything that I'm going over right now with these announcements. So number one, guys, we have a new, well, it's not new anymore, guys, but we have a updated live sales dials. And the great thing about this is we actually have the guy on here that set this up, that he's going to be talking as well. I'll highlight him later when I have him speak. But this is so important, guys, because the 100% of our business is over the phone, all right, and in the field, or if you're on the phone helping a client doing telesales. That's it. All right. So if you want to be successful at this business, guys, do not do this business alone, because you never know what you're saying, right? Which is the reason why you're not having success. It could be the little things. It could be, you could be using the wrong script, saying the wrong words. Get on live sales dials so not only we can help you and you can get live training in real time, guys, but also you can hear people closing business in real time. You can hear top producers booking appointments for the in-home. Anything you want to get out of this business, guys, is going to be on this live sales dial. And we also have breakout rooms. So maybe if you don't want everybody listening to maybe your questions or how you dial, ask your manager if you can go into a breakout room so you can get some one-on-one training. This is so important. I know I spoke about this last week, and it's amazing how many people we have on here that are not getting on. I can guarantee you right now that if you're not on live sales dials, you're not going to be here long. You're not going to make any money. So make the switch, right? And get on there. Lose the fear, because everything you want is on the other side of fear. It's very simple. And guys, we have a lot of fun. I can promise you. Like, and we have leaders like myself, Khalid, Josh, that a lot of people on here that are willing to take time out of our day and spend our days on here to make sure you get what you need. I know we got up this morning at 9 a.m. and we had about 3 to 5 people on, and they asked us tons of questions and got everything that they needed. So make sure you're plugged in, part-time or full-time when you can. It's from 7:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sometimes we stay on longer just to help people out. So we are sold out, right? But you have to put your best foot forward first. So if you have any questions, need help with the phones, need help with the appointments, we're helping people close business in real time. So the people that you hear that are making money, that are closing sales, especially new agents, is because they're getting on here, okay? So that's number one. Number two, I want to talk about how important WorkSpots is, all right? So WorkSpots is extremely important, guys. It's $99 a month, but it literally is life-changing. Number one, you have access to any office that's close to you nationwide. Or if you have a teammate that's looking for an office nearby to work out of, you can actually look around and see which office is close to them. So you can get an idea of where all the offices are. But also, if you want to open up your own office, you have an idea to where to put yours, right? Number two, you can connect with top producers. This is so important, guys. If you're not in the environment, it's impossible to win here. So you get to connect with top producers that are like yourself, that are like-minded, where you can get information you need, that where you can close business or have success on the phone. We have weekly live sales training, guys. This is so important, right? We are in the business of sales. I'm not a great salesperson, but guess what? Each and every day I get better because I'm plugged into the trainings. You got to be plugged in. Think about it like a charger. If your charger's not plugged in, your phone can't get charged. It's the same way about yourself. If you're not plugged into what we have going on here, it's impossible to be charged. It's impossible to be plugged in or even have success. The most important thing, guys, is definitely the discounts on the leads. So our leads compared to other IMOs that offer leads are very, very, very cheap. Okay, we have one of the best prices on leads that I've ever seen in the industry. They're exclusive. Okay, so these leads are exclusive to you. And number three, you get discounts on leads that are already affordable. So if you want to save money, if you don't want to spend a lot of money on leads, get WorkSpots now. It's literally the most affordable plan that I've ever seen to run a successful business here. Okay, that's number two. Number three, guys, we do have a slight change in posting. This is great, right? Because one of the things that, it was a slight killer, but not really. I'm excited about, we can post our numbers again in Slack. Now we cannot post them on Facebook or on social media, but your annual production, like, so when you close a sale, and let's say you close an $80 sale, right? Times that by 12, you get your annual production. You can actually post those numbers on Slack when you close and help a family. So that's a big deal. So make sure when you help a family and you close, post your numbers on Slack. And then let me go over the weekly schedule, guys. This is so important. If you can pull that up for me, Colleen. So I know a lot of people have a busy schedule. Some people are spare time, some people are part time, some people are full time. We have a weekly training schedule so that you can know when to plug in. So if you have time, if you're off work, or if you're on your lunch break, or if you have a day off, or if it's the weekend, here is our weekly training schedule so you don't miss out on what's going on from Monday to Sunday. All right. Screenshot this. Okay. If you need it and you can't screenshot it, text me directly so I can forward it to you. But this is so you can have success, guys. We have something going on each and every day of the week. So there are no excuses. If you're not having success, you got to ask yourself, are you plugged in? Are you doing everything that you need to do? But most importantly, guys, would you hire you with the amount of effort that you're putting in this business? All right. With the amount of time that you spend, are you plugged in? Would you hire you? And if you don't think so, then you got to make some adjustments. Yes, you're going to have to make some sacrifices, guys, but that's why we make the money that we make. So if you want what we have, you have to do what we're doing. And one of the things that we're doing is plugged in. So that's our weekly training schedule. Follow that. So you guys can have success. Number 4, the last thing that I want to talk about is the Maryland Conference. Guys, big decisions are made at big events. One of the next big event that we have is the Maryland Conference. Guys, we have so much fun at this conference, but most importantly, it's not a bunch of rah-rah and people clapping and jumping around. No. You're gonna get what you need out of this deal. It's from 12 to 4 p.m. May 14th. Get registered now. It's filling up fast. All right, and you're gonna hear from top leaders like yourself. One of the greatest things about this conference is that I was able to and not just me, but other people, I was able to go and see other people like myself. I was able to go to this event and see, like, wow, if they can do it, I can do it. I heard people on stage that had similar situations like myself that came out of adversity and are winning. And they're not making excuses. Anything that has come their way in life, they just have learned to pivot. And they're giving us the information that we need, all right, so that we can do it too. So if you want to know what you're a part of, if you want to do something big here, if you want to find out what this thing is all about, we will be in Baltimore, May 14th, 12 to 4 p.m. And plan to stay after, guys, and meet some of the leaders. We are going to eat afterwards. So this is your chance to be able to connect with leaders, meet everybody, and kind of, if you have questions, you get to ask people directly, how you too can have success. So make sure you register today. All right. So, guys, the first person that I want to bring on, get your stylus or your pens ready. We have our very own, one of our top leaders, Thaddeus Scruggs. He is the Vice President of Protect and Serve. We are so excited to have you on, Thaddeus. He is literally crushing it in the field. I'm sure you see his name up and down the Slack group. He is going to go over how to have success on the phones. So he's going to go over the script. Thadd, do we have you on?
I am here, Miss Giles. I am here.
Thank you. So guys, if you want to learn how to get great on the phone, Thadd is crushing it on the phone. And the reason why he's having success, all right, in the field, and he's making a lot of money and helping families, is because he knows what to do over the phone. So if you are having trouble on the phone or need to get better, all right, he is the best person to go over this information. So Thadd, go ahead, take it away. You got 10 minutes.
I appreciate it. Karyn, that was awesome. I appreciate all the, I actually forgot about the dates for the conference, so I appreciate you all going over that. But as far as the phone script goes, the first thing about the phone script is you got to make sure you're prepared to be on the phones. You make all your money on the phones anyway, right? It's not the in-home. It's the phone. That's your money maker. So in order to do that, you have to properly prepare. proper preparation prevents poor performance. You know, that came from Matt Smith, and I live by that. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. So prepare. The first thing you want to do before you even start dialing the day before is you want to make sure you have your leads, right? You want to make sure your leads are already ready to go. They not going in and looking at the CRM the day of at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning when the CRM crashes and it's slow because there's not enough, because everyone's trying to do the same thing. Make sure the night before you're prepared for dial day. You know where you're running at. Your phone scripts are already ready. Your phone scripts are printed out as well. Now, the key to my success when I'm booking appointments is starting between 7:15 and 7:30. That's starting. That's picking up the phone and dialing between 7:15 and 7:30. That's not getting in the office. That's not climbing out of bed and getting to your home desk at 7:30 or 8 o'clock, right? Because what I can promise you here is when you start dialing between 7:15 and 7:30, by the time you get to 8 o'clock, you're already going to have like 2 or 3 appointments. So for the average person that comes in and starts dialing at 8 or walks into the office and sits down at 8 o'clock, you're already that many more appointments ahead of them, all right? Now, don't get the mindset of thinking that calling these people early, you're bothering them. Most people are in their commute at that time. So that's the perfect time to call because they're in the car. All they're doing is probably listening to something that doesn't even matter. So make sure you're prepared and you're hopping on the phones early. Earlier is better. I promise you. I promise you that. All right. The next thing is, as Karyn already went over, is live dials. Right. This is all preparing for your for dialing, and I'm gonna get in the phone scripts right after this. So you're preparing your online dials, and I actually have an issue with this too. I don't unmute. I need to unmute more. So this is something I'm telling myself as well. But make sure you're on these live dials because when you're dealing with your phone script, all right, Karyn, myself, Kali, multiple other leaders, Josh, there's multiple other leaders on this call right now who can help coach you into saying the right things. You may be saying the wrong things on the phone. Unmuting, this is going to help you grow 10 times faster. Everyone wants to stay in their comfort zone and does not want to go in on live dials. Number one is getting on live dials, and number two is unmuting, right? You have to get uncomfortable if you want to build this thing, right? And if you want to build it fast, okay? Now, when we're thinking about phone scripts, all right, the first thing, you have to be slow and under control. Slow and under control and varying something, all right? Now, I can get into the phone scripts and everything, and if I have time, maybe I'll go through that with Karyn, but you have a phone script, right? You have that, so use it. What I find my brand new agents when they come in here, a lot of times I'm giving them their phone scripts, and they may read the first line, and then the second, third, fourth line, they just come up with their own stuff. I'm like, where did you learn that from? So you have to understand the phone script is your basic, right? And then you take it once you become comfortable with it and you memorize it and you understand it. That's the most important thing. Understand what you're trying to get across in that phone script so that when you call these people and maybe you get an objection in the middle of the script, you know how to pivot back to it and get right back on track. But the first step is reading the whole thing. That's the first thing. And so I can go over scripts all day long, but it doesn't matter if you're not following it step by step throughout the entire time. Read it verbatim. All right. Now, how you say your phone script really matters as well. So when you're thinking about reading our script, hi, my name is Thaddeus. I'm giving you a call back from the benefits center about the information you filled out for the final expense and barrier coverage, right? I can say that my way, right? And then you can say the same thing I said. However, you're going to get way different objections than I get. I typically don't get a lot of objections. They just hang up the phone or if they're not interested. Usually if they're sitting on the phone with me, I'm going to be able to book the appointment. But here's the thing, you have to be very assumptive. And what I've actually, and actually we will go over phone scripts because I want y'all to hear this. What I've actually tweaked in my phone script is using less words to get the value and get what I'm trying to come across a lot better. And what it has done for me is it has caused a lot less no-shows. All right, it's caused a lot less objections or interruptions while I'm trying to get through my phone script. And and I'm making more money, right? And the last thing before I get into this phone skip with Karyn is the tie down. The tie down is going to be everything for when you're trying to make sure you're not getting any no-shows, right? You want to make sure you're verifying their address. You want to make sure you're verifying if it's an apartment, okay? If it's a home, it's a townhouse. You want to know all that. Are the numbers on the outside of the house? Are they on the mailbox? Are they on the curb? You want to know that. You want to make sure that no matter what, they're going to be home, all right? We don't book fake appointments. So if they say, I may be home tomorrow at 4 o'clock, no, either you're home or you're not home. Which one? Because I got to see 12 other families today, and I need to make sure I get this information out to you. It takes 15 minutes, right? So you want to make sure you're very assumptive and you're very direct with these people while you're on the phone. All right, Karyn, I don't know how much time I got left, but I'm gonna try to fly through this phone script really quick so they can at least hear something.
Okay.
All right, we got enough time?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, call me. Well, I'm calling you. All right, ring, ring.
Hello.
Karyn?
Yes.
Hey, Karyn, this is Thaddeus over at the Benefits Center here in Baltimore County. I'm giving you a call about that request you filled out for the state-regulated life insurance. You put your birthday here as 10/12/64. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Perfect, perfect. Now, when you filled this request out, Ms. Karyn, was it for yourself or was it for a spouse as well?
No, just for me and my kids.
For you and your kids? Awesome, awesome. So my job is really simple. I'm just assigned to provide you with the information. All right, it takes me 15 minutes to do that. They have me out there in Baltimore all day tomorrow. Are you working, retired, or are you disabled?
I'm working.
Working? Okay, perfect. What time do you get off work tomorrow? Now, tomorrow's Sunday. So what time do you get off work Sunday so I'm not inconveniencing you?
I get off like around 4:30.
Around 4:30? Perfect, perfect. So I don't have a 4:30 available. I can squeeze you in for 10, 15 minutes between 5 or I got a 7 o'clock. Which one works better?
I can do 5.
You can do 5 o'clock? Okay. Now I know you said you get up at 4:30, so your commute, you're 100% sure you'll be home at 5?
Yeah, my second job is 15 minutes away.
Okay, perfect, perfect. I tell you what, here's what I'm gonna do. Just so you're not rushing to get home, I'm gonna put you down for between 5:15 and 5:30. That way there's no question you absolutely will be home by then. Now I have your address here as 123 Main Street. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Is that a home or is that an apartment, Karyn?
It's a home.
It's a home? Okay. Now, should I park in the street or is it driveway parking? I know in Baltimore it's mostly street parking, but what does your house look like?
Yeah, I have a double driveway, but it's just me that lives here, so you can park in the right next to my car.
Perfect, perfect. What color is your car? Just in case I miss it.
It's silver.
Silver? Awesome, awesome. Okay, silver car, parking in the driveway. Got it. All right, so I got you down for between 5:15 and 5:30 for tomorrow on Sunday. All right. Is there any other reason you wouldn't be home besides just commuting from work tomorrow between 5:15 and 5:30?
No, I mean, if an emergency pops up, then I would have to, but I mean, is this the number I can call you back on?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. Yeah, no, other than that, I'll be home.
Okay, perfect, perfect. All right, so I got you down for tomorrow between 5:15 and 5:30. This is for the state regulated life insurance. I see you tomorrow. And what I'm gonna do before I get off the phone here is I'm gonna send you my information so you're able to verify me and the form you filled out here. This is your cell phone, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna shoot it straight to your cell phone right now so you have it, okay?
Yes.
All right, Karyn, you take care.
Thank you.
All right, so with that, guys, so you got to understand there was no fluff. There's like, listen, this is what I'm calling about. This is what I'm trying to do. I tied her down like 4 different times. And you got to understand a lot of times when you're going through your phone script, you have to remember that you don't want to rush it, okay? You don't want to just call them and try to hurry set up an appointment and get them off the phone. No, like a lot of times as a brand new agent, you're going to feel uncomfortable and you're going to get really excited and you're going to want to hurry up and get them off the phone. But once you lock them in, once they say, okay, yes, I'm gonna set an appointment, slow everything down, everything. Because what that's going to do is it's going to bring the control, it's going to bring you under control. You can think more about what you're saying, right? And you're able to tie down those specific things. You're not forgetting the ask about the address. You're not forgetting to ask about the numbers on the mailbox. You're not forgetting none of that stuff, right? So make sure that you're going slow and under control the entire time. Now, the reason why she said she'll be home at 5 o'clock, and I said, okay, she's commuting, right? And I said between 5:15 and 5:30 was for that specific reason. I don't have time to be sitting here waiting for 15 minutes she says 5 o'clock and she's like, oh, I'm running a little bit late. How often does that happen? We're talking about Baltimore City here. Traffic all day long, right? So, and it's the weekend. So that's another thing. So just take all that into consideration when you're booking these appointments, because you do not want to wait for these people, right? And if she says, I should be home, I usually try to give people enough time so they're not rushing, because most of the time they're never there on time if they're just getting off work and you're trying to set that appointment right when they get off. You want to give them a little bit of buffer because you want to make sure your schedule is intact. All right, Karyn, I'm still going on time, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm pretty much done. So
Yeah. No, and I know, guys, I know we didn't go over objections, but that quick question, when you first started, because guys, we have a lot of new people on here, and you came from the God, I done lost my train of thought. What's the industry you came from?
Law enforcement?
Yeah, he came from law enforcement,
yeah.
guys. So he came from law enforcement. So Thadd has never, and how long have you been here, Thadd?
December 1st, 2019. So 2 years and a couple months.
Okay, so 2 years and a couple months. Yes. So he came from law enforcement, has only been here 2 years and a couple months. He's never sold life insurance before he came here. How did you get good at handling objections in that process? Because we have a lot of new people on here where they're trying to figure this thing out. They're getting a lot of objections. How did you get good at that? Because you got good pretty fast.
So the biggest thing about objection handling is going to be the live dials. That's number one, right? And then the next thing behind that is this is how I handle my objections. So and this is what I tell my brand new agents. I don't talk to them about objection handling. What I do is I say, all right, every time you get an objection, you're going to dial, first of all, you're going to dial 150. You're going to dial 150 dials first before you call me in for any objections. Write down every objection you get. You're only going to get a couple. All right, I'm not interested. Can you call me back later? I already got a handle. Or yeah, those are like the three. Those are like three, right? So now, when you get those objections, you write them down on a sheet of paper, right? And then you contact your upline, whoever that is, Karyn, Kali, whoever, right? You contact your upline and you're like, all right, this is the objections I'm getting. And then Karyn, Kali, Josh, whoever is going to say, here's how you respond to that. Now write out on a sheet of paper, write out the rebuttal right there. So then the next time you get that, number one, you wrote down the objection, you wrote down the rebuttal, you wrote it down. So now you're automatically psychologically, you're going to remember more because you just wrote it down. So then what you do is when the next time you get that objection, just read what you wrote verbatim. Don't try to make it your own. Just read whatever they tell you to read, right? Whatever you wrote down, just read the whole thing. And you'll be surprised how much better you'll get and how fast you'll be like, wow, that actually worked. That's literally all I did for handling objections. But trust me, guys, you're going to get your butt kicked in the beginning. It's going to happen, but that's a part of this business. That's a part of building that callus to be able to withstand people hanging up on you, people telling you they're not interested, cuss you out, because you're going to get all that. But just know the numbers are going to work into your favor, right? That's what I did. That's what I would say as far as handling objections. There's plenty of objection handling things online, but you just have to go through the motions. You have to do it. There's no shortcut. I can tell you this all day long about how I handle objections, but you have to go through it yourself.
Perfect. All right, guys. So we're going to move on to our, thank you, Thadd, for blessing us this morning, guys. Thadd does not have to take the time out to do this, but he does it because, guys, we work as a team. We work as a family. This is Family First Life. We all work together. So, if you have any questions or additional questions for Thadd about the appointment script, guys, we're on live sales dials. You can ask him on there. And he runs a hybrid schedule. So he typically plugs in during the week. So definitely listen to what he has to say, because that's the reason why his team, and not only himself, but the people that have been communicating with him have been having success. So again, Thad, thank you so much. And again, we appreciate you, and we are so excited for your team, the direction you're going in, and all your success. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, guys. So our next speaker that we're bringing up, guys, this is like a super stud. He actually had started this live sales dials here, the second one that we have. He has been working day in, day out, literally sun up to sundown, on ways that he can help everybody get better at telesales, handling objections, closing business. I mean, just everything in this business. He's just such a team player, and I'm just so excited to have him on. All right, this is FFL Entourage. They are crushing it. One of the biggest teams outside of Allegiance as well. So Josh, Chris, are you on?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. So, guys, this guy, you want to listen to him, okay? He is going to go over how to have success in the in-home. And the reason why I have him talking about this, guys, is because I know we have a lot of new people on here. We have a lot of people that really, really, really want to get good at telesales, or you're thinking about wanting to do telesales. But I really believe you should get good at the in-home first. And so he's going to go over how to have success in the home. So Josh, again, thank you so much for taking out your time. You're super busy. And guys, just to let you know, he went through some major, major, major adversity. But what I love about Josh is that regardless of what he went through, right? Because some people wouldn't be able to handle what this man has gone through. The fact that he still made it to convention, he's still making it happen. He's not making excuses, because guess what? The bills don't stop and life doesn't stop. Life, you're going to go through adversity. You're going to go through things. The question is how you respond. How are you going to respond? Because how you respond is ultimately what you're going to get. And wherever you put your energy, wherever you put your time, you're going to have to deal with those consequences. And ultimately, if you don't work, you don't make money. But he's not making any excuses, and he made time today to jump on our call. So Josh, again, thank you so much. Go ahead and take it away. You got 10 minutes.
All right. Thank you. It's awesome to see, there's 56 people on here. I love the fact that everybody has their videos on, so I'm not just talking to a dark black wall that we don't know what's behind it. So it's always good to be able to communicate. But again, thank you so much for having me on here. When you sent me a message and you're like, hey, can you do in-home? I was like, in-home? But of course, what's funny is you can't forget where you started, right? So you have to kind of remember what got you to where you're at. And I've been doing insurance going on 11 years. And up until a year ago, it was all in-home. Before virtual really didn't exist. I mean, it was there, but it wasn't really popular. But in-home is the foundation of this business. That's how the insurance industry was built, on in-home. So actually, I'm pretty excited to talk about that, because it kind of brings me back to reality of how it's all started, this business, but how simple it really is. And when I was told to really focus on in-home, the first thing that came to my mind was, first off, you need to have a schedule and you need to have a structure, right? Because the way in-home works is you're going to be booking appointments to go out and see somebody. And then when you see them face to face, you're presenting. So you need to make sure that you commit to a schedule of knowing when you're going to do that, because a lot of times you're going to have a dial day and then you're going to have a run day. So once we figure out that schedule and then we're having the appointments and then we go out and see them, it's all about how do we set the stage and what do we do while we're in the home. And I try to keep it as simple as possible, because I'm not a type of person where, in my opinion, I don't think I'm the smartest person out there. I'm creative. But I've always tried to find ways to make it simple so I could understand it, because all that advancement talk and that stuff that people say that just goes in one ear and out the other or over my head, it was very, very confusing for me. So I had to dumb it down a little bit and keep it simple based off of how does that structure work, right? So the first thing that I started is whenever I'm doing an in-home presentation, I like to have whatever lead it is in front of me. I like to have that with me. So if it is a internet life lead, we have a way of printing out a PDF. If it's a mortgage protection lead, we have a way of printing out a PDF. There's every single lead that we have. there's a way for us to show them that we got it. Now, again, some people may say, well, what if it's a spreadsheet? All right, in that spreadsheet, I would still let them know, like, I'm servicing so many different people. I have your information here, and I'm going to show something that I can relate to them, simply because there has to be some credibility there. You didn't just randomly show up. You didn't randomly door knock them. You didn't randomly book an appointment on the phone. You booked an appointment to go give a presentation because they requested the information they wanted, right? So I always start out with that. And then once I get to that part, I verify that I'm sitting down with the person I'm supposed to be sitting down with. It sounds silly, but sometimes you ever have people that you call, you book an appointment, you go up, you show up, and they're like, why are you here? Like, did you not remember we just talked on the phone yesterday? And then that's why I'm here. You asked me to come over. But it's as simple as that. Just verify that they are who they are, right? And then some of you guys have badges, your license, whatever credibility you need to make it seem like you're a real person, not just a random person. You're licensed through the state. That helps build the credibility. Once I get to that point and I verify everything that I have of them to make sure they are who they are, I then get to the point where I dig into the presentation. Now, this is something where you have to kind of get good at building rapport throughout, right? So early on in my career, I used to spend like 5-10 minutes building rapport because I was with a captive agency, and I almost had to manipulate or persuade or convince people to buy insurance. So I had to warm them up even more, where now they know what they want. So we just got to give them what they want. So when we get to the building rapport, be real about it, right? So too many times I see people say, all right, how long have you lived here? Great. Do you have any family there? Great. Where do you work? Great. And that's it. But like sometimes you have to dig a little deeper, right? So when you ask somebody, how long have you lived around here? It's not just saying, okay, great, and then moving on the next one. Ask a follow-up question to show them that, one, you care, two, you're listening, and three, you're sincere. As long as you do those three things, now it's a conversation that they feel like, hey, you're not just like the last person they talk to or people that they've heard about that's just coming in to try to sell them something, make some money and leave. Like, you actually care. And that's the difference of having a good career to a great career, is simply by caring about the person more than they realize, right? Because when I first got started, I had people look at me and tell me like, dude, you're a jerk in the home. Why are you treating them that way? They did nothing to you. Why are you being that way? And that's because I didn't know any different. Like, I was like, hey, I joined this company because I wanted to make a lot of money and change a lot of people's lives. So I'm gonna do whatever it takes to make a sale. But then I was doing it the wrong way, and I was making no sales. I was helping no families. I wasn't even helping my family. So then I sit back, I look myself in the mirror, and I was like, it's not that serious. At least go out and make sure that you get to a point of the conversation where you can care, you're sincere, you actually want to be there to help them. If somebody feels that you're there to help them, they will do whatever you tell them to do. If they feel that you care about them, they will do whatever that you want them to do. And plus, it's not like we picked up a phone book and randomly called somebody. These people requested information. So always keep that in the back of your mind. No matter what leads you have, if you have a name, a phone number, an address, they requested information because they are interested. And anytime somebody tells you they're not interested, they didn't fill it out, it's just bogus. It's a smoke screen that they're using, because at that time of day, at that time, that moment, they're not interested in talking to you. Doesn't mean they're not interested. They're not interested in talking to you. So you got to overcome that. So in the home, I start asking questions. How long have you lived here? Right? Oh, I've lived here my whole life. Okay. Do you have family in the area? Do you have family outside of the area? Do you guys have get-togethers here? Do you get together for holidays? Right? I don't spend a ton of time, but I dig a little deeper because I want them to know that I'm not just asking these questions that everybody else tries to ask to try to act like they're their friend or act like they care. I'm asking because I want to know more, right? So once we've overcame that part, now we're going to get down to figure out why we're there, right? So it's as simple as, let's just use an internet lead for an example, because that is an abundance of, there's abundance of leads in the CRM that people have access to. So the internet leads work 100% of the time, as long as you work them. So when you're in the home and then you're going through your presentation, you need to find out, right? So people typically fill this out for one or three reasons. One, to cover funeral and final expenses. 2, to cover large loans, like maybe a mortgage, or 3, for legacy purposes or income replacement, right? Asking those 3 questions and finding the why is really where the close happens. Like once you find out why they requested this information, everything else doesn't matter. It now comes down to digging into the why. And that's it. You don't need to know about products. You don't need to know what company to go with. You don't need to know how that product works. You just need to know why they filled it out. And once you find out why they filled it out, I'll touch in a second, is going through a financial inventory sheet. But when you find out why they filled it out, and if they say, I filled it out for funeral and final expenses, right? A line that we all use. And what's nice, Karyn, is a lot of stuff that we use in the home, you use on the phone too if you're doing telesales, because it still starts a conversation. The only difference is one, you're in person, the other one, you're on the phone. So to me, it's the same thing. Have I been the first person you've been able to talk to about this, or have you been looking for a while, right? It's something that you just want to start a conversation to pull out as much information as you possibly can. And then when you're finding the why, you don't just find the why. Remember, think about connecting the dots. When it's rapport and you're building rapport, you don't ask, do you live in this area? How long have you lived in this area? And then you move to the next one, you dig a little deeper. So finding the why is the same thing. They say they're looking for funeral final expenses. I completely understand. What made you think about this? Did something in your life happen? Did you have to take care of this for a family member? Were you the one that was stuck with that bill? Have somebody in your family just recently passed away? What does it look like if they have to take time off work? And then they have to have their kids take time out of school. And then they have to relocate from, if they live in Ohio and the funeral's in Maryland, how much money does that look like that they have to come out of pocket? That's how you dig deeper. You ask questions to find out why. And then once you find out why, nothing else matters. As I said, it just comes down to finding out which company they qualify for. And the way that you do that is by the financial inventory sheet. So something I do is I create a binder that looks like this, has all of our carriers on it. And the inside of it, I have all of the financial inventory sheets in here, just so that I'm always prepared, because I hated more than anything having to flip over a lead or write on something that I was just so unorganized. It gave me the structure and the direction of what to ask first and then move on. And then once I find out all the information as far as their personal information, it's as simple as finding out what they qualify for, right? And we have this awesome thing called the in-home hotline, or you have an awesome thing called an upline. So you have the ability to call the in-home hotline that you can ask somebody as simple as this. And this, is something that we've kind of got away with ourselves in our group, because we've been transitioning more into telesales, but really in-home is the foundation of this business. You don't want to get rid of it. You want to implement it always, no matter what, because it's going to be a good way for you to learn the business, because you're out, you're in person, you're seeing somebody, and you're presenting. So even if you're doing in-home or you want to do telesales, I would say go on in-home appointments and try it, because it's going to get you to where you need to be to learn how to be better on the phone. Because, sometimes you got to tell people things that they don't want to hear, but they need to hear. But when it gets to the financial inventory sheet and you're asking the questions, it's as simple as this. You're calling the in-home hotline or your upline. You're going to tell the client, hey, I'm going to reach out to my senior underwriter. Just going to verify some information with them to see which programs that you qualify for. Nobody's going to say, you can't do that. I don't want you calling anybody. They're going to love that, because they like that third-party advice. It's not coming from you, it's coming from them. And then now it's less salesy, it's more education. So then when it comes to the point where you're educating a client, now you're just working together to find a solution, because they know there's a problem. You're giving them the solution. That financial inventory sheet is just designed to uncover what program they qualify for. And the in-home hotline is going to direct you on which company to go with. And at that point, there's not much more selling involved. It's asking them which option makes the most sense to them, right? Whether you do a gold, silver, bronze, whether you do option 1, 2, or 3, the close is, would you want to give your family 30,000, 20,000, or 10,000? And then shut your mouth, because the first person to talk loses. So you want to give them the ability to think about it in their head, think about their spouse right there, and you're just sitting back waiting for them to say something. Once they say something, then you handle the rebuttals, But if you dug in, you figured out the why, and what I like to call is IRT, intro, recap, tie down, then you know for sure that this person's engaged with the conversation. They know they need it. And then at the end, it just comes down to affordability and comfortability. It's got to make sense for them, right? So there's 3 reasons, and this is the last thing I'll touch on because I know I'm probably way over 10 minutes. But if you guys can't tell, I'm just passionate about everything I do because everything I do is for somebody else. And when I learned that it wasn't about me, that's when my career exploded. And all the things I've created and all the things I've done, it's to give back to everybody else because I know if I would have had that at the beginning of my career, I'd be even further ahead than where I'm at now. But because you have awesome people like Karyn and Kali and Thadd jumping on here, giving you as much as they possibly can of what they've learned, take it and run with it. But there's 3 reasons why people tell you that they're not interested, they want to think about. And this is what you really want to think about. 1, they don't trust you. So you got to find out, why do they not trust you? 2, they don't trust the company. Or 3, they don't trust they don't trust the product, or there's no value there. Those are the only 3 reasons why somebody's going to tell you they want to think about it, they're not interested, and you just got to figure it out. And guess what? It's as simple as this. If somebody tells me that, I'm going to say, now, Karyn, is it because you don't trust me? I'm flat out asking them, is it because you don't trust me? Is it because you don't trust the company? Is it because you don't trust the product? You don't understand it? I'm asking those specific questions because when I ask those questions, if somebody's going to be real, yeah, man, I really don't trust you. I just met you. You just showed my house and you're showing me these options. Okay, I completely understand where you're coming from. Just to let you know, again, I'm licensed in the state of Ohio. Here's my license number. We can actually go on the Department of Insurance website together. I can show you. Hey, I even have social media. I don't have anything bad on there. I have no problem showing you that I am a real person. I'm just here to help you. At the end of the day, it doesn't make any difference to me. If you want me to help you, I'm here. If not, I'll pack my stuff up and I'll leave and I'll go help the next family. And you have to be okay with having control and saying that kind of stuff because, again, people need to hear things they don't want to hear, but you also have to have control and be direct. So hopefully that helps. There's a ton more that we could go over, but I know that that's the simple, basic stuff that really helps you get to that next level.
That is powerful. Thank you, Josh. And again, you can learn all this stuff on livesalesdials.com. Josh is also on there as well. And guys, look, between Josh, Thadd, myself, Kali, and all the leaders that we're on there together. And here's the thing, before we were doing telesales, like before we were doing all this virtual stuff, we were all in the field. So trying to get all of us together at the same time, that was impossible. It was hard enough trying to get us on the phone with how many families we were helping every hour, every 30 minutes. So take advantage of this time, take advantage of this moment, because we're here to help. And that's really it. There's nothing else to say. Those are the fundamentals. That's the foundation. When you overthink it, you're not going to get the results you want. So don't think about it, just do it and allow the system to help you. All right. But you got to work the system first. And I think that was powerful, Josh. So thank you again so much for taking the time out to speak with our team. Guys, again, if you have any additional questions for our leaders, you got to get on Live Sales Dial. That's just it. It is what it is. So, guys, we don't have too much time left, and I do want to kind of take a little bit of time to go over some hiring things so that everybody is clear and has a sound mind on what to do when you hire someone, right? So there is a process after you hire someone. You do want to make sure that, if they're excited and they know what's going on, if you feel like you don't know too much about what you're doing, if you feel like you've said all that you can say and what you know, but there might be more, or if you need your manager or upline to help you, reach out to us because, again, yes, we have an agency. We're looking to grow, but the most important thing is you, and we want to help you grow as well. So get with your manager or upline and have us speak to your newest person, right? Get on our calendars. But if you hire someone, you got to put them in the system, right? And so make sure you understand this website. It's FFL GetContracted.com. So I kind of want to do just a quick test run. Kali, if you could share your screen and kind of go on there for me real quick. So you're gonna choose the first option, guys, when you're putting somebody in the system, okay? And you want to get them plugged in. While she's pulling that up, you want to get them plugged in and have them see success within 24 to 48 hours, okay? And what does that mean, right? Once you hire a person and you get them in FFL GetContracted, you're going to want to make sure that you plug them into Facebook, our private Facebook national group, so that they can see families being helped and can get updated on all the, the trainings and everything like that. And then our personal Slack group. So get them in the Slack, make sure they're on there, right? Don't just send them an invite. Make sure you physically add them while you're on the phone with them, all right? Because it is kind of like, if you're not familiar with Slack, it is kind of hard to maneuver if you're not, familiar with it. But once you get them into the Slack, they'll be able to see everything and then add them into our own personal group, which is FFL Fury Agency. That group is locked. So you do have to physically add them once they're already in Slack. So there's 3 places, Facebook National Group, and then Slack, right? And then FFL Fury Agency group in Slack. Now, if Kali doesn't bring that up, guys, just go to fflgetcontracted.com, bookmark that page so that when you go to hire somebody, just remember it's 2 options. You're going to choose the first option and put them in. Make sure before you submit that ticket, review each and every information that you put in. Sometimes you can click the wrong button, click the wrong compensation. Make sure you double check it before you submit that ticket. Now, guys, once the ticket is submitted, all right, for a new hire, the new hire, they're going to get an email right away. If the email is put in correctly, they're going to get a welcome email, okay? So they're going to get a welcome email. But the second email that you're looking for, all right, is going to come within 24 to 48 hours. Now, if you don't see it, or if your new hire doesn't see it within 24 to 48 hours, right? Reach out to contracting. All right. And somebody put this in here as well. Contracting at fflfury.com, or reach out to a manager. Okay. And give the contracting department time to respond. Any contracting issues you have, you're going to have to email that to contracting at fflfury.com. Now, if you don't see anything, it's either the email was typed in wrong, or check your spam. Because sometimes, depending on which email you have, it does go to your spam. So make sure you check that. And then if you're licensed, right, once you're licensed, get on Jamie's calendar, guys. She will go over appointment setting with you and what you need to do to have success. Now, who is Jamie? Jamie Euphemia is Frank Euphemia's wife. They are both our leaders in this company who created this whole team that we have here, okay? Had they not said yes to FFL, none of us would be here. So get on Jamie's calendar. She is one of the best. How do you do that? Well, you want to go to fflnational.com. Somebody put that in there as well. All right. And then you're going to click start here, and you'll go to agent resources. Agent resources will lead you to Jamie's name and information. Please do not call her. Go to her Calendly and put yourself on her calendar. Once you put yourself on her calendar, then after you speak with Jamie, contact the person that brought you in so you can have that second conversation. But I can guarantee you, everybody that's having success, all the new agents that are crushing it, have gotten on Jamie's calendar. And even if you've already been here for a while and you kind of need like a refresher, get on her calendar anyway. It's amazing how she has the time to help, but you got to get on her calendar, and that's how you do that. Now, if you're licensed or unlicensed and you're having issues and you feel lost, also go to FFL National or refer back to your emails. Please read the checklist, right? Because when you're having trouble in this business, right, here's the thing. We don't know if you're having trouble. We can't read your mind. So you have to be in communication. And communication is one of the quickest ways no communication or lack of communication is one of the quickest ways that can put you out this business, because we don't know unless you tell us. So if you're having issues, please reach out to us. But it's probably because you haven't referred back to your checklist, right? And if you're lost, let your manager know what part of the checklist you're stuck at. Because I can promise you, if you go back and read it or go back and read your emails, that is something in there where there's a step that you missed. We want to help you guys, but you have to bring yourself half the way so we can meet you there. And part of that is reading your emails closely. Sometimes you got to read it more than once, right? You got to search around for a few things in your email, whether it be in spam, or if you don't receive it, just contact us, right? But most importantly, reading that checklist. We have an unlicensed checklist and we have a licensed checklist. So somewhere there's a step missing. Don't skip any steps, and just pay attention. And any information that we give you guys, write it down so you don't have to keep asking for it, right? But if you're licensed and you're going through contracting issues, you have to go through contracting at fflfury.com and send an email so that you can get what you need. If you're unlicensed, follow that checklist and be in communication with your manager, which is myself or Kali or the person that brought you in, so that we can help you and we know what's going on in your business. If we don't hear from you, we're assuming you know what's going on, or you're probably just not doing anything. But we want to help the leaders here, guys. Whether you do something or not, we're going to make money regardless. We want to help other people make money and as fast as possible. And the way to do that is with communication. All right, guys. So we have 1 minute. Kali, do you have any words before we end this call?
I don't. Great job to everybody.
Perfect. So guys, we love you. We love to keep things short and sweet, as you know, from being on here. Please take this information and go run with it and have success. The biggest and best way you can show our leaders appreciation for taking the time out for doing a call like this is going to work and getting results. So guys, that wraps us up. It is 12 o'clock. I hope everybody has an amazing day. I hope to see everybody on here. If you are available to jump on Live Sales Dials, we'll be right on there right after this. I have a bunch of appointments today. I'll be on here all day. Kali and a lot of the leaders on here. So please, let's get plugged in. Let's get this done. Let's run it up this week and every week thereafter. I love you all and have an amazing day.
Have a great day. Bye.
All right, guys.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Everybody.